What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media. And I apologize. I put it out in a poll earlier today, or not a poll, a post on YouTube that the audio file got kind of corrupted on the video. So I figured Joshua and I can go live for a little bit, talk about some things going on. And then, as always, if anybody has any questions, we will obviously talk about those. How are you doing, Julian? How are you doing, Joshua? What's going on today on this fine Wednesday?
I mean, other than Buck Scott talking crazy, it's a good day. Just ready, to go into Sunday, see what we can do against Justin Herbert and his guys. But I mean, other than that, man, it's a good day, man.
Absolutely.
And hockey is back.
Oh, that's true. I'm waiting for basketball. I'm not a big hockey guy. Waiting for basketball. I'm a big Braves fan though, so they made it. They made it out last night.
My team is the Dodgers, so
Oh, we get that
rematch. I'm glad they tied it up.
Oh man, how you doing, Sancho? Welcome into the stream. And Void says we should draft DBs and linemen. That's a good thing to start off on. Yeah. The draft. What is it that the Ravens need to go after? Is it DBs? Is it linemen? Is it linebackers?
Dang. Yeah, we're not gonna give them yet. Are we gonna get these guys year 3 to get it together? I definitely would say lineman first. Gotta say lineman. We got a franchise quarterback. He's gonna get his extension, whether we win a playoff game or make it to the Super Bowl or whatever the case may be. He's gonna get his extension regardless. So I definitely feel like addressing that offensive line is definitely first, because Villanueva is not the answer on right tackle. Maybe even a possible backup left tackle that can possibly, become a starter in the future, because you never know with the Ronnie Stanley situation. It seems like sometimes with certain players, once they get the big check, that's when they start going down. And unfortunately, when he got that big extension, he was out for the rest of the year. I mean, he came back, he worked his way back into the rotation. Next thing you know, he's hurt again. Now, the good thing is that he did not get, it wasn't like, dire that he had to get get a surgery. So, hopefully we can see him back. But, when you have those situations, it's like, dang, man, we gotta work something out. We gotta figure something out. So I definitely feel like, that right tackle side, that right tackle, right guard side as well needs to be addressed. And honestly, I feel fine with Bradley Bozeman. They need to go here like Ben Cleveland, really rock out. Hopefully he be back, after the break and, be rolling. So, I definitely feel like offensive line is the real position we have to address. But the good thing about this upcoming draft, we have 10 picks. We have 10 picks, and the Ravens can find players in any rounds. We talked about this.
Yeah. So, for me, I feel like first round, it's got to be best player available, either linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say edge rusher. If a really good edge rusher happens to fall to the Ravens, I think they still go after him. Or corner. I don't think that the Ravens, unless it's a tackle, I wouldn't take a guard in the first round. If it's a tackle that falls to the Ravens, go for it. But I wouldn't take guard that early. For me, I feel like the Ravens can kill it. I mean, I would expect the Ravens to try and draft at least 2 tackles in this upcoming draft.
Yeah.
Probably like maybe a 3rd round tackle, a 4th round tackle. They may even draft a 6th round tackle as well. They'll probably get a lot of offensive linemen. I would guess like half of the draft picks could be used on offensive linemen. I would not be surprised. And I see
we got to watch that University of Kentucky Georgia game together, because the right tackle, he's pretty much high profile. I forgot his name, but they saying he might be top 10.
I mean, there's so many good guys in this draft. How you doing, Don C? The legend Don C. Welcome back into the stream. Is it time to talk about it?
I don't think he gets traded, Tina. I don't think he gets traded. They see too much potential in him. Honestly, I mean, they pulled the trigger fast. I feel like they won't pull the trigger as fast as they did with CJ Mosley with him. They was willing to let CJ walk. But I feel like, they see something a little bit more in Patrick Queen. So I don't think they're going to trade him just yet.
I don't think they should trade him. The issue is I feel like Queen could be decent if he wasn't the one, but he's supposed to be captaining this defense. He's supposed to be leading them, making the tackles, forcing those big stops, and he can't do that.
Yeah.
The Ravens need a linebacker. I wish, who I wish could still play football? Peanut, Patrick Onwuasor. Because I feel like he could come in, if not for, I believe he has a neck injury, which was why he had to retire. Like those are the types of guys where, like, the Ravens don't need a superstar linebacker. They need a linebacker that won't whiff every time. And unfortunately, Queen is not a linebacker that can stay poised. That's why I was so nervous when he talked about in the offseason. He talked about his mentality. He said, see ball, get ball. And I was like, yeah, to an extent. But you got to make sure that you know how to get to the ball, because it looks like he just sees the ball and he runs right to where the guy already is. And that's why half the time he's completely lost and out of position.
Very true. Very true. These, I hate to say it, but I got to say it. I know it was big on PQ, Malik Harrison doing a thing this year. But right now, but these past 5 games is making me miss LJ.
I mean, I'm down for LJ. I believe KJ says we should have drafted Kenneth Murray. I believe Kenneth Murray was taken before Patrick Queen. So we could not have gotten him. I actually wanted Kenneth Murray over Patrick Queen, but I mean, he was already gone. So Patrick Queen was probably the best guy available. I really liked Zach Bond.
Yeah, we playing Kenneth Murray this Sunday.
Yeah, so Kenneth Murray hasn't been amazing either, so it's not like he's just been some absolute monster that's been dominating everybody. He's been like meh. But the issue is, or the benefit is, he's playing in a defense with Joey Bosa, Derwin James, like massive, massive names. So it's not like he's the main guy that has to make all those big tackles, because Derwin can make those tackles. But with Queen's got to make the tackles. And yes, everyone's talking about Queen is hurt. How you doing, Baltimore Zone? How are you doing? Song Stress for Real says we need new coaches for our defense.
Who would you change? Who would you change?
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna change Wink.
Dang. Already?
The issue is Wink Martindale runs a particular type of defense. He's like Liam Neeson in Taken. He has a particular set of skills, okay?
All right.
Those skills are blitzing and running man coverage. However, one of the issues is the Ravens no longer have the players to be able to do that. And he is putting his players that are clearly not good enough to be in those situations. Anthony Averett, I don't hate Anthony Averett, but he's not good enough to be in one-on-one man coverage situations. He's not a top 10 corner. If you want to run a press man heavy blitz scheme with one-on-one coverage, you need to be able to lock down. And so a Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters duo, Wink Martindale can run that defense. But he's still trying to run his defense, and it does not work. And unfortunately, that's what's going to hurt the Ravens, because now he's just becoming, well, I guess we'll play some cover 2. But the problem is he's gotten this defense to be all built in the secondary. And that does not mean it's very good for getting after the quarterback. And so he's not getting after the quarterback unless Odafe Oweh gets the 3rd fastest sack in the NFL this season, which he did against Carson Wentz. Like, it's just tough.
Man. You know what? I see where you're going with this. So let's agree on it. Wink is currently having the G-Roll effect. He's not making no adjustments right now. Instead, he's going to keep on pushing his beliefs. And is he's going to win or die trying. Because honestly, the way we played that first game, that first series was like, why are we playing timid? Oakland, they like to run the ball, they like to pass the ball, but yet we playing like zone coverage and giving them all these yards. And like you said, we didn't put all this emphasis on the secondary, but right now it's that front seven that's really getting is really becoming questionable. Brandon Williams right now, he's just a namesake. Honestly,
Yeah.
Calais Campbell, he shows up when he can. We had Derek Wolf. He definitely is a solid player. Him and Penel McPhee, they definitely make those quiet plays. Those things happen. Right now, with Tyus Bauer getting that extension, people are feeling like hey, you're not the guy that you were. But at the same time, it's like he wasn't a big name. He's just a solid guy for the Baltimore Ravens that can make plays happen quietly. Another guy, he's just younger.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Cam Wee, for the super chat. It says Board has outplayed PQ and Malik Harrison, and I agree completely. Like, Board isn't an amazing linebacker. His potential is not very high, but he doesn't go out there and make stupid mistakes. Because, Marlon Humphrey, we saw it. He's going up to Patrick Queen. Like, what are you doing in the middle of the game? Because he's like, you're not, like, we talked about it last year. We talked about all last year, and people got mad at us sometimes. It's like Patrick Queen plays like a chicken with his head cut off.
Yep.
He's just kind of running around. And unfortunately, Patrick Beverly, he just be doing stuff. Like, it doesn't really affect the game. He's just out there kind of running around. Like, I saw plays where it's like he just overcommits so hard that he's not able to make plays. And, like, Chris Board has that special teams experience. He's a good special teams player. He knows, like, how to take a pursuit angle. I don't even need him to cover. Just tackle the running back. Do one thing.
Man, I don't know. I don't know. People saying let go Rob Ryan. I don't feel like the issue was with Rob Ryan. I don't know if y'all watched the clips on Twitter and stuff like that. They, Rob do show these guys how to tackle. They go through tackling drills. Rob can't suit up. It's these. At the end of the day, it's these guys, that's suiting up on Sundays and Thursday and Monday night. They got to tackle. And I've said it before. The NFL defensive player is not like those real big heavy hitters that we grew up and watched. Y'all had to be fundamentally sound now. Some of y'all guys probably still can knock a dude out, but as y'all knock a dude out, you still have to wrap up. Y'all not Ray Lewis. Y'all not. Is no more Ray Lewis's where if Dustin Keller comes across the middle, oh yeah, I'm gonna lay you out with just a shoulder. It's not none of that anymore. It's no more James Harrisons. It's no more Troy Polamalu's. It is no more Ed Reeves, Brian Dawkins, hell, Bernard Pilot. Y'all guys got to do the fundamentals in order for y'all to be, considered the best defensive player out there. The only person that that's consistently shows that he's a monster right now in the NFL is Aaron Donald.
Yeah, and this is a great comment right here by Julian, who says, this man, Patrick Queen, spends more time on his Lambo and IG than in the film room. And it's something that the Ravens have had players that have been criticized for playing poorly. But it seems like those players have been in the work that we've seen them grinding. Like Hollywood Brown, I think, is a perfect example. He is criticized so much. And yeah, he streams. And he does other stuff. He plays Madden. He plays Warzone. He plays Ark. He does all this stuff. But he's also working. And we see that work. And we see him getting better all the time. Patrick Queen doesn't seem like he's getting better. And it's just every week, it's just not happening. And it's just, I don't know. I would love to see some stuff happening with Patrick Queen in the positive direction, because it's just we're not the only can you think of a positive play Patrick Queen has made in his career that wasn't him on a blitz sacking the quarterback in a Wink Martindale schemed up blitz?
Only positive plays he's had is this previous preseason.
Yeah, he snuffed out the screen.
Yeah.
That's all I can think about. Like, he made the jump hit on, was it Antonio Gibson in the Washington football team game at the goal line? They scored the next play, so it didn't really matter. But, like, he hit him out of the air. Like, that's the only play I can think of where he's made a play not on something schemed up by Wink. Ramal asks, when are they going to use our Darius Washington? I saw our Darius out on special teams. I didn't see him on punts. I saw him on kickoffs playing the special teams when the Ravens were kicking off. I saw him out there. That was the only time I really saw him. I think the Ravens are just trying to work him back. I feel like if somebody gets injured, then we will see him out in slot, out in nickel dime packages. But I don't expect to see him a ton just because the Ravens really like Brandon Stephens. And I got to say, I like Brandon Stephens too. I think he's been playing a lot better than I expected. And we've talked about it, Joshua. Yeah. He tries. We see the effort that he puts in. Like, he hits guys. Sometimes he doesn't tackle him, but he's at least throwing his body. Patrick Queen doesn't even hit him. He misses.
No, most definitely.
It says Tavon's hitting harder than Patrick Queen.
Okay. Before everybody hypes up Tavon, everybody knock on wood because it's a blessing that he's made it to game 5. So, you know, it's a blessing in disguise that he's made it to game 5. Other than that show against Oakland, yes, he's been doing his thing. I give him that.
Oh yeah. Void says Azeez Ojulari and Odafe Oweh looking nice. Would you still have taken Azeez Ojulari at 31? And now this is coming from the pre-draft thing because Azeez Ojulari was probably my favorite edge rusher in the draft class, not because of his high potential. I thought Odafe and actually, you know what I said because at this point the Ravens didn't have Justin Houston. And Joshua, we talked about it. If the Ravens are going to draft a Gregory Rousseau or if they're going to draft an Odafe Oweh, they got to get Justin Houston because if they don't, it's not worth it. And so when we were like, they drafted Odafe Oweh, they don't have Justin Houston. What are they doing? Mm-hmm. They still got Justin Houston. So the plan that we had talked about worked out. I believe Gregory Rousseau went the pick before Odafe Oweh, or maybe 2 picks before because he went to the Bills. But overall, the Ravens, I feel like they did what we wanted them to do. They just did it in the incorrect order because it was like the most, the guy that's going to be going out there, from day one and probably be better because Odafe Oweh, who knows what he would look like if Justin Houston doesn't come to Baltimore.
No, definitely.
But he comes to Baltimore and we see that impact. So definitely taken away.
Yeah, if we would have drafted away with no real veteran pass rusher, it definitely would have been a project situation with a questionable upside. So I definitely feel like, we made the right move. It definitely worked out in our favor. But, this upcoming draft, I definitely feel like we definitely had to add another pass rusher.
Oh, yeah. And Sancho, this is a great point. It says blaming coaches instead of holding the players accountable sounds like Cleveland Brown fan behavior. These guys are professionals. You shouldn't need a coach to make you have effort on tackles. And that's what the Ravens defense seems like it's missing. Effort. Because who are the guys that are putting in effort? The only guys making plays. Odafe Oweh, Calais Campbell. Those are the guys that are going out there and sending it. Like they're working every time. A guy gets back there. Was it Jelly that chased down Travis Kelce?
Yeah.
And tackled him in the end zone?
Yeah.
That's effort. He didn't get the tackle, but nobody else is chasing him down.
He definitely didn't get up. I loved it. Man, you know what? In the pressers, a lot of guys get interviewed. Mostly, Marquise, J.K., guys, Lamar, Marlon Humphrey, Ronnie Stanley, those guys. They did talk about, it's a different hunger, inside that locker room, and to a degree, you do see it being, transpired onto the game, to the field. But it almost seems like some of the other guys are on lax mode. Like, we haven't accomplished nothing. Okay, we made it to a playoff game. Yeah, most definitely. You know, we made it to a playoff game once or twice. Cool. That's fine. But at the same time, we haven't got to the ultimate goal, which is a Super Bowl and win it. You know, we still got barriers that we had to get over. So I feel like, I don't feel like everybody's on the same accord when everybody's out there playing, when everybody's out there on the field. And it shows, from the poor tackling, sometimes the blown coverage, you know, sometimes with the offensive line not putting in enough work. I mean, we get hell. Unfortunately, it was free actions with Gus and J.K. But sometimes you can even, say that, your off-season working out, conditioning, that can also be played as a factor as well. Because, if if you're an injury-prone guy, you have to do something differently to, as far as your nourishment, as far as your working out, your conditioning, and just, you got to do things differently. So, I mean, it's the different things you can look at and say, as far as these guys are not really coming out with the intensity that they're saying, when they talk to the pressers during the off season.
Oh yeah. And Baltimore Zone says if you watch the tape, Oweh and Tavon are the best players on defense right now, for real, for real. What do you think about that? Who has been the best defensive player so far for the Ravens this year?
Right now, outside of the Oakland game, Tavon, as far as corner, Adafi, Justin and Adafi.
Nice, nice. I'm gonna say it's Calais. I feel like Calais is just, I mean, he's showing just veteran leadership. He is just going out there and he doesn't make a ton of plays. Obviously, the field goal block is great, but I saw a highlight of when the Colts tried to run a screen pass in the second half against the Ravens, and Calais completely snuffed it out, took away the entire screen pass by feeling out those blocks. Like those plays that he's doing they're not seen in the stat sheet. Him shutting down a screen pass will not go down because he's not swatting the ball or anything. He's just standing right behind Jonathan Taylor, and Carson Wentz throws it in the dirt because he doesn't want him to get intercepted or batted down or anything like that. And Calais is making those types of plays. He's chasing down guys when they get to the next level. Like he's doing everything, in my opinion. So I'm gonna say it's Calais, but Oweh and Tavon have both been very, very good.
Yeah, and just unfortunately, and anybody don't think we're not trying to take nothing from Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey is top five, top five hands down, one of the best corners in the league right now. It's just he's getting overworked right now, and because of his style of play on the wide receiver, he's not turning around quick enough to break up the pass. So he's just playing the wide receiver more right now, and he's getting overworked. And honestly, sometimes, some quarterbacks feel confident enough to attack that or go to the opposing cornerback that's sometimes not stepping up. So we're not, don't think we're not saying, Marlon is not in the conversation. Marlon, is just getting overworked and it's showing.
This is a great question. So Mark says, I'm sure you guys have talked about Quinn already, but this is actually really interesting. But do you guys still have hope for him?
That's a good question. Would you think?
No. Only just because the way that the Ravens are running if the Ravens make changes, then I have hope for Queen. But they aren't making changes. They are still putting him in the same situations over and over and expecting things to change, and they aren't. And I don't expect them to change unless the Ravens change, because his play is not going to change unless the Ravens force him to no longer be in man coverage. They don't turn him into just this blitzing linebacker. Like, I just feel like if the Ravens get somebody that he can be paired with and learn underneath or something like that, similar to, because Patrick Quinn, I believe, doesn't have a lot of experience playing linebacker. That was one of the pros. It was like, oh yeah, he has so much experience, like so much potential. Look at what they did with Odafe Oweh. They draft a guy, not a ton of experience playing the position, but they get it Justin Houston. to
Right.
come in and help him out and be that Yoda. Patrick Queen never got his Yoda. Unless the Ravens bring somebody in that has been on that high level, I don't expect Patrick Queen to go out there and dominate like we all hoped he could when the Ravens drafted him. And I'm trying to think of a guy that maybe they could bring in.
I'm about to say, who would be that guy though? Because he honestly reminds me of, well, PQ and Malik Harrison both remind me of Navarro Brown, Patrick Willis, that combination. You know, they're quick, they're agile, they're aggressive as hell, they're young, and they play the ball more. You know, Patrick Willis, he was more of a thumper, but Navarro Brown definitely played the ball more.
Yeah, I mean, just getting that linebacker duo is so key. But the Ravens, I feel like they missed because they didn't develop either of them. Like CJ Mosley and Peanut, Mosley came in and was able to be that guy, and he was established, and then came Peanut.
Yeah.
And then that duo was created. They tried to bring in Malik and Patrick Queen with no disrespect to LJ Fort or Chris Board, but no like good mentor or anything like that. Like I like them. I think they're average linebackers in the NFL. They're not going to get them to the potential that they have. And the Ravens tried to hope that they could get them to that next level, and they haven't. They need somebody to come in and benefit them. And I'm actually going to look up right now 2022 NFL free agents to see if there's any linebackers that could be available for the Ravens to go out and draft. Because I think that it's going to be really interesting. Asmodeus, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, do you think Josh Bynes can be that Yoda? What do you think, Joshua? While I look up the agents.
I mean, he's been around the league. I mean, he knows how to get a job done. But at the same time, I don't feel like he can be a Yoda. Excuse me. But the simple fact, I feel like he's on the same level as LJ Fort and Chris Board. I mean, he is a guy you go in, put in a game that can make solid plays. You know, he can give you a little bit of advice here and there. He can give you different techniques and stuff like that. But it's, you know, those type of players need a higher profile style of player that's been playing at a high level for their whole career. You know, not a guy that just, you know, when it comes to injuries, okay, they steps in, or you know, it's not a lot of guys on this depth chart that's on. Everybody's on the same level. All right, we're just gonna pick somebody that, you know, beat that guy out just by a notch. So he can give him advice, but not it won't stick from it won't stick as it would from a Ray Lewis, you know, or even a Bart Scott, you know, any of them guys, you know. So, you know, I don't think he will work as a Yoda in that sense.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I did look it up, and from what I see, there's only one guy that I think could be that guy, and it's Dante Hightower is a free agent next year. Now, that would be very difficult. And Dawson says Devin White had Levante David. Exactly. I can't remember the Seahawks linebacker that they drafted. I think it's Brooks or something like that. He's got Bobby Wagner.
True.
Like those guys have guys that they come in underneath, and that allows them to develop.
Yeah, I would say at the Ray Lewis, we really haven't been doing the best job as far as linebackers, because they brought in Arthur Brown, and he was literally by himself, and that amounted to too much of nothing. It would be interesting if we had like a Daryl Smith, you know. That's another guy.
Julian says Corey Littleton. Corey Littleton plays for the Raiders, I want to say, or KJ Wright. could be mid-season trades. Where did KJ Wright go? Is KJ Wright on a team? I know he got. I believe he got cut. I don't know if he got picked up.
I'm gonna say that whole situation. What was the whole? I forgot the whole situation with KJ Wright, but I definitely thought the Ravens would have took a shot and thought about bringing him in.
Oh, I think he's on the Raiders.
Mm.
Raiders signing ex-Seahawks linebacker KJ Wright to 1-year deal. So I guess it's KJ Wright.
That wouldn't be bad.
Raiders linebackers, go after them. Steal them. Nana says we need somebody now, not next year. We're chasing the Super Bowl.
That's agreed, but with money.
What about, hold on. Is Quan Alexander on the Saints still, or did they not end up bringing him up? They did end up re-signing him. I think that the Ravens could maybe try and go after Quan Alexander in a trade.
He was solid for Tampa Bay.
Solid for Tampa Bay. And then he got a lot of money, I want to say, in San Francisco. Did not live up to that money. They drafted Fred Warner. But, hey, something's better than what the Ravens have right now.
No, I definitely agree with that.
I don't know if it's as much. Yeah, sure. It's nice to like have them potentially be able to, fix Patrick Queen, but it's also just about getting a linebacker on the field that'll be good and be able to make plays and make tackles, because the amount of times that players just get into the second level and just take it is too high.
Literally. Like, this season is definitely showing defense is not top 10 this year. At least not right now. I don't know if it's going to get better.
Oh, it's not even close to being top 10. It's probably closer to bottom 10 than it is top 10.
It's stressful. In the presser, Lamar Jackson talked about it today. He don't like games like this. He'd rather have a lead and chill out. So, I'm not gonna read into it too deep, but in other words, everybody need to tighten up so we can, get a good lead and be on a relaxed mode. Because this high pursuit, putting up these points together in the fourth quarter, and trying to make this, courageous, glorious comeback sometimes is not going to always help us out. Because honestly, I will say this: a team like the Chargers, I don't know how this is going to play out this Sunday. I'm definitely rooting for the Ravens. Don't get me wrong, y'all. But just coming from a football standpoint, you're going against Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen, Eckler. I don't even know who they tight end, but
I believe it's Jared Cook.
Okay. But still, you're going against a 300-yard passing guy, 3-touchdown type of guy. Justin Herbert gives me the vibes. He's going to keep his foot on someone's neck. He's going to keep the foot on the gas pedal. And, with that type of offense, they're not going to let up. And if I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm lining up Mike Williams and Keenan Allen on Anthony Averett at all times. And I'm going to work.
I'm not excited to try and watch the Ravens try and cover the Chargers passing game for two reasons. One, who the heck is covering Austin Eckler? We don't have somebody. That's the first one. I'm not as worried about that. But two, Anthony Averett's going to look terrible. I can almost guarantee it, because he's going to be on one of two players. Either Keenan Allen, if the Ravens say, you know what, the Marlon Humphrey should be on Mike Williams. He's bigger. Mike Williams is very physical. Marlon's physical. That's a better matchup for Marlon. We can do that. Or if the Ravens put Marlon on Keenan Allen, then it's Anthony Averett on Mike Williams. If it's Keenan Allen going up against Anthony Averett, Keenan Allen is a top 3 route runner. I believe he's the number 2 route runner in the NFL. Running man coverage is not going to work, especially if you're Anthony Averett. And then Mike Williams is the best jump ball wide receiver in the NFL. And we all know how Anthony Averett performs in jump ball situations. Just about the worst any player can perform in jump ball situations because it seems 80% of the time they catch it.
Saw that Monday.
So that is something that really is worrying me for this game. Like, it's very scary if both of those guys are playing. And I see Mike Williams in practice today. He has a knee injury. So if he doesn't play, that helps out the Ravens a lot. But it's tough. It's very tough. Let's see. John K says, why not put Smith outside and Anthony Averett at safety? How much will that help? Anthony Averett doesn't tackle there particularly well. And
he had the ball skills.
Yeah, and he has no ball skills. So I don't think that's going to help him really very much. And I don't think like Jimmy Smith's playing corner for the Ravens. He's lined up at safety a few times, but it just comes down to matchups. And I don't think that the Ravens want to put Jimmy Smith in those types of matchups because he's not the same guy he once was. He doesn't have the same speed he used to have, but he's still a decent player.
Yeah, he'd probably be on Jared Cook if anything.
Yeah. Julian says, only hope is Adafe, Tyus, Matabike, and the boys show the fudge out on Rashawn Slater and them.
That front seven, yeah, it really does have to come down to that front seven. I think I said it during the offseason, you know, is a possibility of, you know, the power changing on that defensive side of the ball. You know, I don't think it would have been the secondary being what it was this year. I thought it would be the front seven, but right now it's neither one of them. Like we as a whole, neither the front seven nor the back seven has put up a strong, consistent game of play. So one of them has to do that this Sunday in order for us to win the game. And we had to get some stops. We had to get some stops. If we don't get any stops, at least a turnover, anything, then it's going to be a long Sunday.
Absolutely. And I feel like we can answer one more question before we kind of end up the stream. Izana says, the NFL seems to have caught up with the Ravens read option. At least good run defenses have. I think we should go 50-50 pass and run from here on out. We now have weapons on offense. Thoughts? The Ravens have always been just about 50-50 pass to run. And I don't think it's as much about the Ravens read option being figured out. I think it's just they're stacking the box completely. And Lamar Jackson's the only good running back, you know, or not running back, runner of the football. So, unfortunately, Latavius Murray is not J.K. Dobbins. He's not going to gash somebody. He's not Gus Edwards. He's not going to run through somebody. So, the plays that we're used to seeing in the read option where, they sent everybody but Gus bounced off the guy in the backfield and took it 12 yards, that's not happening this year. Right. Because the Ravens don't have that. J.K. hit the stiff arm and took it 25 yards up the sideline. That's not happening. The running backs just aren't as good, and it's very clear. And so, yeah, I think the Ravens are having to pass more, and that's okay. I think that shows that next year when they have those running backs, it's going to make the offense that much scarier. And Rashad Bateman's going to be another year advanced into his career. Devin Duvernay's going to be another year. Heck, Hollywood's going to be another year. Nick Boyle's going to be completely healthy. So there's a lot of things to look forward to, even though it's kind of a negative.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would say, you know, of course, teams, I look at it as, I don't see it as defenses now understand the Ravens read option. I see it as defenses are now respecting the run game by the Ravens. So, you know, they respect the run game and don't think we have a pass game. But you know, with that, the creativity from Greg Roman, a passing coach, a wide receivers coach, that's when that stuff has to start kicking in. Because of these past 5 games, what have we seen? The box is being stacked immediately. And, when you see Latavius Murray out there, I keep on saying it. I feel like his good years are past him because he runs. What we got? What we got?
What is going on in the? Yeah.
But I like Tyshawn better as the running back. Like I said, Tyshawn runs a little angrier, he runs a little faster, he runs a little stronger. Latavius Murray, sometimes when he gets the ball, it just seems like, he just goes forward and fall. I mean, that's good, but at the same time, I like a little bit more umph in my running backs. But when you see with every other quarterback, I know with Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, when Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, those guys, even Joe Flacco was in the league. When you see certain defenses, you got 2 plays. You got your original play, you got your check play. It sometimes seems like Greg Roman doesn't give Lamar a check play, when he sees the stacked box. Because when you see that box stacked, they automatically going to play the run because what are the Ravens known for? The run game. Once you see that box stacked, hey, call your cadence out. Check it. Boom. You got to go over top, depending, how the players worked out. Spread your guys out and keep it moving. We don't do those things. We got to start getting more creative. So I don't feel like, the league has figured this out. I feel like the teams that we play, they respect the run game, but with them respecting the run game, we have to show these people that, hey, we can pass it. And honestly, when Rashad Bateman plays this Sunday, it's going to show even more.
Absolutely. All right, I feel like that's a good spot to wrap up this stream. Thank you everybody for joining the stream. A lot of fun. We want to try and get back to doing these, kind of midweek, just because I feel like it's a good time to, not as much game focus. It's just kind of overall season focused live streams, having a good time. So thank you everybody for joining. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button as well. But we will see all of you again tomorrow, and hopefully the video that I was going to post today, I re-record it and it all goes successfully and it gets uploaded tomorrow.